Welcome back to Smart Mouth Beauty. I'm Heather and this is my sister Holly, and today we have a follow-up to our Ask the Hairdresser Volume 3 video, which we will link down below if you haven't watched it. We talked a lot in that video. Is that funny? What's funny? Am I funny?
No, or just...
Oh, okay. We talked a lot in that video about scalp exfoliation. And so we're going to do a little demo today.
Yes, because
Let's
I just
talk
talked
about
all
that.
about it. So I just want to give a real quick educational video on how to do it, because we talked about the exfoliation brush,
Yeah.
and then I actually linked one below.
Oh.
And so if you're buying that brush, I want to show you how to use it, because I love you.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what is scalp exfoliation and how often should we be doing it?
There's a lot of play in that though, because if you have curly hair, then you're not doing a lot of exfoliation as somebody who has straight hair, because we tend to brush our hair more often. And when people with straight hair brush their hair, they go from the scalp down to the ends. And people with curly hair, first of all, you just don't brush your hair, because then you're gonna get this like big Q-tip head, right?
Right.
So I hear ya. So people with curly hair probably need to exfoliate their scalp more often, maybe at least once a week. Someone like us, maybe once a month. So it just depends on the climate. It depends on how oily your scalp is. If you have really active sebaceous glands or overactive sebum buildup on your hair, so then you would do that more often, depending on the climate, depending on how much hair you have, how much texture you have.
Or if you go work out a lot and
There's a ton of variables. Okay. It isn't going to hurt anyone to do this once a month or once every other month.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of walk you through what you need in order to do this at home. You can go to a salon and request a scalp treatment, but you guys can do this at home. So I have linked down below a scalp treatment brush. Now, I believe this is a faux boar bristle brush. What would
Say
you
that
say?
3 times fast. A faux boar bristle brush. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, that's really stiff.
It's stiff, but it's gonna be okay. You do want it to be a little scratchy, because you are trying to exfoliate your scalp. So this one's by Conair, and it's a narrow one. I like it narrow, and I'll show you why in a little bit. But these bristles, you can still, I mean, I can flex those pretty well.
Right. They're not metal.
They're
It's not like a metal
Yes.
bristles. Yeah.
But the narrowness, I believe, is key.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing you're going to want to get is some sort of scalp oil. I like jojoba oil or argan oil or even coconut oil or castor oil. But castor oil can be a little thick and hard to get out of your head. Okay. So I'm just going to talk about jojoba oil. Jojoba oil is very, very thin and real liquidy, and what I do is I have a hair color bowl, but you can use a kitchen bowl, and I'm going to show you why here in a minute. I'm just going to drop a few drops of that jojoba oil or any kind of oil into your bowl. The reason that that's important is because I'm going to dip my finger into it, and instead of trying to use the little eyedropper dabby thing,
it's easier.
So I would transport the oil into like a little bowl.
Okay, wait. I'm scared.
I'm not going to put the oil on your head. I'm just going to walk people on how to do it.
Okay, so let's back up. So let's say it's my once a month, it's time to exfoliate. Do I do this before I'm going to shower, before I'm going to shampoo?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you would have dry hair, and it's okay to pre-brush it out so they don't have any tangles.
Okay.
So you would pre-brush.
Like brush your hair and then get this ready to go. And then after we do it, then I can immediately go get in the shower and wash as normal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or you could leave that oil on for a few minutes, like 10 minutes. You could even put a Kroger bag over your head or some sort of grocery plastic bag over your head and go vacuum. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly demonstrate the technique of this hairbrush though. You're going to split your hair open, and you're going to actually lay this hairbrush in at an angle.
Okay.
And you're going to flick it.
Are you going up?
Yes. So let me show you.
Because I didn't really feel that.
So you would lay that in at that part and flick it up.
Okay.
So I'm laying it, is this horizontal? to the part,
Yes.
and then flick it. Let me show you on you again. So you would do this.
Well, wait, where have you put the oil?
And then, okay, so you do it 3 times. You lay your brush down, you dip your finger into the oil, and you would oil that parting. Then you would part again, the next section, okay? And you would lay that brush down. 1, 2, 3. You put the brush down, you dip your finger in the oil, and you wipe it across that part. And you go on to the next section.
So what's the oil doing? I was thinking you were oiling first and then flicking.
No, you got to flick off the dead skin, and then you are oiling that exposed new skin to hydrate. So you're going to exfoliate and flick off the dead skin. So this will be usually white, of flaky. It's just okay. It's okay. We all have dead skin on our scalp, and we got to get it off. So you would flick it 3 times, like I showed, on each parting. So it's going to take you a while to get across your head, you know. So I would start down here at the ear area, and 3 times oil, and then I would part it again. 3 times, dip, oil, part again. 3 times, dip, oil, and watch TV, watch a movie, just do your thing. It actually feels really good.
So is there anyone who should not do this? What if you have a sensitive, like what if you have
if you have eczema
or dandruff?
I actually would highly recommend doing that.
Oh, if somebody has dandruff.
Have a buildup of dry, flaky skin particles. I would flick that off. I would be doing
flick
it, and then use some sort of oil. And then the same with eczema or psoriasis. You gotta get that stuff off.
I think we should coin flick, because people are doing on fleek.
Flick it.
We're coining flick, and you heard it here first.
Flick it.
Flick it on flick. On flick.
But I think that there can be so much wrong with buildup of skin on the scalp can clog your hair follicle. Buildup of sebum on the scalp can clog your hair follicle. All of this is promoting blood circulation to the head. I've flicked each section 3 times. It's just like if I flicked your arm 3 times, your arm would eventually get a little pink because you're bringing that blood up to the surface. And think about it. With gravity, since we're all over 40 here at this channel, we know how gravity is happening. But the same thing when we talked a little bit about moving your scalp. Remember how you even brought that up at the last video? You have to be able to move your scalp off of your skull, because when you see especially old men who are bald and their scalp gets tightened down to their skull and even looks waxy, it's because their skin, because of gravity and everything, has tightened around their skull, and then there's no blood flow between their scalp.
Okay, you got to get that blood flowing.
You got to flick it.
You got to flick that. You got to get that. You got to get it, girl.
So this is the regimen that I was referring to in the last video, which we'll link down below.
Okay, so then when you get in the shower, you can just let that sit through while you're watching the rest of,
a movie,
Kardashians or something. And then you get in the shower, and then you just shampoo as normal, and you dig. So just the regular
warm. I would use really warm water, because you're going to need really warm water to help with that oil. But also that hot water is really stimulating. I wouldn't always recommend a hot water shower, but after you do this, I would recommend a little bit warmer shower.
So that's what I was going to say. So daily washing, I use my fingernails, and I get it, girl, but that's not enough. That's not, it's not this.
Because then there's bacteria underneath your nails that could and you could open sore your head. Great. Don't do that.
Great.
You need nubbins. You need to nubby your no, but you could totally do this. What?
All right, that got
wash
weird.
Their hair with the pointed dagger nails.
I have no idea. They need. Okay, I don't know.
Okay, so was this helpful?
Wow, it was very helpful. I had no idea.
I'm going to go home and do
that. I'm going to go home and flick it. What happens if you flick it? Okay, well, that got weird. Please let us know. Comment down below if you have exfoliated your head. using something like this, or if you're going to take our suggestions, because we would like to know. Give this video a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this with people if you think they need to be in.
You
on
know
the
you have a
ridiculousness.
friend with curly hair that needs this.
Yes, we're going to do Heather Marcus's hair, like with this, for real.
Oh, for real.
It would take you 3 weeks to do that, her hair. We got you, girl. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.
She was just in,
Yeah.
and her hair looks gorgeous because it hasn't had that after baby shed yet. So she even has 20 times more hair, and it's long, and it looks really pretty, and we glazed over it. It's just gorgeous.
her.
But well, here in a minute, it's all gonna fall out because
When she stops nursing?
she hasn't hit that 4-month period yet. At that 4-month mark, all that toxin's starting to shed out of her body from the epidural and all that kind of bullshit.
Right, then she'll
So-
call you and freak out.
Right. She's gonna have a big shed. Nuh-uh. Oh, that hurts. Don't pull that.
I know, I need to cut that off.
Okay. Do you want to do that now? No. Is it bothering you?
No, I'm going to go home and I bought that nail teaks, and I need to go home and
Fix all that shit?
it's a mess.